Greetings. This is Paul the Poke from paulthepoke.com. Today's topic, trend update, Iran instead of ISIS. And we are August 13, 2017. Scripture references out of Ezekiel 38, verse 5. Persia, Ethiopia, and put with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Not a whole lot of debate. Persia's modern day Iran. In fact, they were called Persia, in the 20th century. So we all know who that is without much discussion. August 13, 2017, recent history is repeating itself again. When one set of terrorists is eliminated, another set of issues will take its place, and ISIS is gradually being removed from the current Middle East scenario. And the head of Israel's intelligence agency, Mossad, indicated Iran is taking the territories vacated by ISIS. Now, Mossad is led by Yossi Cohen, and Iran is expanding by proxy in Syria to the north and east of Israel, Lebanon straight north of Israel, Iraq to the east of Israel, and all the way down here in Yemen on the southern Arabian Peninsula. And most of that's taken place in the in the western third of Yemen. The Houthis, you may have heard that, Houthi. They are Iranian backed, and they're the ones fighting in Yemen. So essentially, Iran, Shia Muslims, are replacing Sunni Muslims, and that'd be ISIS. So Israel, along with President Trump, has expressed concern regarding Iranian compliance of the 2015 Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. And the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action is the nuclear deal President Obama signed with the Iranians. Now, Iran maintains their nuclear program is for peaceful purposes. Iran also states they are not developing ballistic missiles that carry nuclear weapons. Okay, there we go. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel has made it clear Israel does not follow other international agreements when it comes to the security of the nation. And a quote from Prime Minister Netanyahu: Israel will continue to work with determination and in a variety of ways to protect itself from these threats. This came out in the news today as well. Prime Minister Netanyahu is looking to go to war without approval of the full cabinet. The law comes up for vote before the Knesset in October. And the Prime Minister is not confirming or denying the possibility of going to war without approval of the full cabinet. Now, for its part, Iranian legislators recently passed a spending bill to increase funding to the nation's missile program. Mind you, their nation's missile program does not carry nuclear weapons, so don't worry about it. Now, these Iranian lawmakers chanted death to America with the passing of the program. $260 million was committed to the missile program, and $260 million was committed to the Quds Force. And the Quds Force is a military unit that is deployed in Syria and Iraq, and that's what they're using to, quote, fight ISIS. Now, you can check out more details of this, jpost.com, for 2 articles. Mossad chief warns Iran taking over territory relinquished by ISIS. Prime Minister seeks power to go to war without broad government approval. Those are the 2 articles. Now, the second piece of this happened late on Friday. Scripture reference is out of Revelation 16, verse 12. The 6th angel poured out his bowl on the great river Euphrates, and its waters dried up to prepare the way for the kings of the east. That'd be China. Now, and we're going to zoom back in on the Middle East, specifically in on Israel. And the Golan Heights. Whoops, wrong spot. Up here by Tiberias. Significant oil finds are occurring in the Golan Heights of Israel, quote, with the potential of billions of barrels. Now, the world sees this area as occupied Syria. And so we're going to have a little squabble, and you can even see Google has removed all the, quote, boundary lines between nations because, as they say, we really don't know where these boundaries are drawn anymore. So they just erase the lines of where Israel used to be in their borders. And if that's not interesting enough with all the oil finds, another significant find is reported to the west in the valley of Megiddo or Jezreel. And this is also known as Revelation 16, verse 16. And they assembled them at the place that in the Hebrew is called Armageddon. Is what it is. Oil finds in Armageddon. Well, we know what's going to happen where that all goes down. Also, it's important to note there are massive natural gas reserves off the coast of Israel in the Mediterranean Sea. They're called the Leviathan and Tamar fields. And these are natural gas finds. Now, the thing that gets interesting, especially when it comes in here into the Golan Heights, Chinese peacekeeping troops are more acceptable to Israel because they are not Arab. Israel has been agreeable to Chinese troops to Lebanon in the past. Israel sees Asians as more impartial. Now, China is looking to join the United Nations peacekeeping forces in the Golan Heights. And the peacekeeping branch of the UN is called the United Nations Disengagement Observer Force, UNDOF. And again, you can check out timesofisrael.com. Oil bonanza in Golan may help grease wheels for BRI. So, the bottom line is this: as we draw back out and look at this area, the United States is withdrawing from the Middle East. End times players are filling the vacuum, and it is what it is. So if you're interested in this story, please feel free to check out paulthepoke.com. Categories: Ezekiel 38-39. Also check out Iran, Persia, Elam. Keywords: Golan Heights, Revelation 16, Ezekiel 38, Mossad. Thanks for listening. You guys have a good evening. Bye.